Hey everybody, welcome to the presentation today. We get the great pleasure to discuss everyday wellness, training smarter, and debunking myths. My name is Billy Robbins. I'm on the content team with On Court, Off Court, and we also have Kalindi Dinifer with On Court, Off Court, and Josh Warren with NeuroMuscular Balancing. And we're gonna have some fun today. Just to kind of introduce this concept, we're going to be talking about a phrase that I incorrectly call mobility, how to move and function in sports and life and all these things. And getting a chance to work with Kalindi and Josh, I've learned some really crazy things. And there are some real myths. There are some ideas that we just believe to be true that may actually be hindering what we're looking for out of our everyday performance and wellness in life. And so I'm really excited to get some time with Kalindi and Josh. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks, Billy.
Absolutely. Woo, me too. And actually, why don't we do some introductions? So Kalindi, would you mind just telling us a little bit your journey, your story, and I'd love to hear more about what's led you down this path.
Yeah, sure. So some of you might know me from, my background with On Court, Off Court, growing up playing tennis and being a part of family business that my dad started the company. I played competitive junior tennis for a number of years and, did all the things that I thought were the right things to do and ended up having hip surgery at 16. So some of the things that I thought were the right things to do were in fact not the right things, and then just had a series of other nagging injuries over the next several years after that. And that just sort of led me on a journey to learn about, all right, like, how do I actually find balance in my body? What are some of the ways that I can help myself recover? And one of the things that really resonated with me was when I met Josh at the PTR symposium a few years ago, and he was giving a presentation on neuromuscular balancing. And, it was kind of like a light bulb went off, like, oh wow, like this information makes so much sense, but it's not discussed. Like, why didn't I know about this from years back? Why didn't my coaches know about this? All of that, and, integrating some of these principles that I'm excited that, we'll be sharing today have helped me to get back on the court and have better balance and overall wellness in, on and off the court. And it's been really fun to go down that journey. And, through learning that in my own personal wellness journey, I've been excited to want to add that aspect to On Court, Off Court, where I'm the chief marketing officer and, working with my family business. And it's, just been passionate about sharing that with coaches and players so that they can hopefully find something that resonates with them in their on and off court journeys.
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, it really has been, kind of a buzz. It's things we talk about often. It's impacting the way we think about building products, the content we're creating, kind of everything on court, off court. Really has had this cool shift, if you will, or this thought process around this, and it really came from a lot of the things that Josh is teaching. And so, Josh Warren, it's awesome to have you. Thank you for joining today.
Thanks for having me here.
And I get a chance to hear about you, your story, and things like that. But I really think that your story, your narrative that got you to this point is really powerful. I'm sure it's going to resonate with a lot of people watching. And would you mind sharing a little bit of kind of your journey and how you got to this place, and even where this has come from, because it is a very personal thing to you.
Yeah, of course. I can say that I never thought that this would be part of my path to be sharing this information, but it obviously affected me so much that it felt like I was called to, that I needed to get this out there, because basically I was a 4-year college athlete, played tennis. I play and coach 4 different racket and paddle sports, and active with hiking and all kinds of nature activities. So as an active person, I went through a time period for about 7 years where I had low back pain. It kept getting worse, and basically whether I'd seen athletic trainers, PTs, chiropractors, got a massage, yoga, at times temporarily got slightly better, but nothing actually corrected it. And it was something where when I was in my early 20s, at one point I just had this thought, oh gosh, I wonder if I'm gonna have to live with this the rest of my life. And I was hoping for many years of being able to do the things that I love without this kind of pain. And what was interesting was I did my master's in exercise science, and I had gotten into learning more about yoga, and I went to a 1 month long yoga teacher training, and it was a more gentle approach to yoga, offering modifications. So I thought, okay, this could be really helpful for me, but it ended up turning up where I had my back pain actually got worse in that month, and I was like, I was just trying to make sense of all of this. And at a similar time period, a New York Times article came out saying that yoga is producing more injuries than running, and that was startling. And I love the yoga philosophy, but there is something from the postural point of view that was exacerbating my pain. So later on, I had met one of my mentors, Lee Albert, and learned about muscle imbalances, and it was both exciting and liberating, and also frustrating at the same time to learn that he assessed my muscle imbalances and said, hey, if you start doing a little more of these stretches and strengtheners and stop doing these for a couple months, and see how that does, you could potentially start to feel much better. So I tried it, and it was contrary to all the things I'd been learning my whole life about what to strengthen, what to stretch. And basically the pain went away actually within a couple of weeks. And once I committed to trying something a little bit different. So for the first time in 7 years, I had no pain. And for numerous years after, to this day, I've kept it that way, and also learned about other parts of my body that I could heal, and have learned about many people that have avoided surgeries and certain kinds of drugs by basically using an empowered approach to their own wellness by learning essentially what to do. So.
That's amazing. Yeah, and now you get a chance to coach and support other people in various ways, right now?
Yeah, and that's I coach a women's college team in the fall and spring, and coach athletes in the summer, and then throughout the year I do body work sessions, whether it's on the table assessing imbalances and helping correct them, and then giving people the tools so that they can do that themselves, as well as put together a video so people can actually do the class at home and have a better idea of it, and we'll give workshops and talks to just kind of get this information out there, because it's very simple. It's just a phrase I like to use is that it makes a lot of sense when it's explained. So it makes common sense, but it's not yet common knowledge. So it's part of I feel like my duty to share that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I agree. Going through a lot of your content, me as just a recreational tennis player, a lot of the myths we're going to cover today, it's like, oh, I totally did this, like constantly,
Yeah.
I'm like, why wouldn't this? But as you say, and as you put it in context and as you explain, is like, oh yeah, this makes sense. But it definitely goes against the thread of what people are typically doing, the normal thread of, stretching and different things like that.